If you're the kind of person who wants a wine fridge that just works, no fuss, no mystery, and a price that feels right, then you've probably been wrestling with a few questions. Will it keep my reds at the perfect sipping temperature? Can I actually fit the bottles I already own without constantly shuffling them around? And most importantly, am I spending my money on a unit that will live up to the hype instead of becoming an expensive piece of core? Those are the practical concerns that keep most shoppers up at night, and they're the same ones I asked myself before I started digging into the Whynter BWR 1002SD. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of space you need to give this thing. The BWR 1002SD is a built-in or freestanding model that measures just under 2 feet wide, a little over 2 feet tall, and a little under 2 feet deep. In a standard kitchen pantry or a dedicated wine cellar nook, it slides in without demanding any dramatic renovation. If you have a freestanding spot, say, a corner of a dining room or a home bar, it can sit proudly on the floor, thanks to its sturdy steel chassis and the black finish that hides fingerprints. The real win here is flexibility. You can mount it under a countertop for a seamless look or let it stand on its own if you're still figuring out the layout. That dual mount option means you don't have to compromise on style just to get the capacity you need. Now, capacity is the headline that most shoppers chase, and Whynter delivers on that front. The unit holds up to 100 standard 750 milliliters bottles, which translates to about 8 cases of wine. If you're the sort of collector who buys in bulk during a good harvest, or if you simply entertain frequently and want a variety on tap, the sheer volume is a solid reason to consider this model. The interior is organized with 12 removable wire shelves that are wood-faced for a touch of elegance. Each shelf slides out on rollers, so pulling a bottle from the rear is as easy as sliding a drawer open on a kitchen cabinet. The design eliminates the recant twist frustration that many freestanding units suffer from, especially when you've loaded them up to the brim. Temperature control is where the BWR 1002SD really shines for everyday use. The thermostat lets you set a range from 40°F to 65°F, 5°C to 18°C, covering everything from crisp whites to mellow reds. Because it uses a compressor rather than a thermoelectric system, the temperature stays steady even in a warm kitchen or a sunlit dining room. I tested this by placing a thermometer on a bottle of Pinot Noir and watching the reading settle within a degree of the set point after about 30 minutes. In real life, that means you can set your reds at 55°F, walk away, and trust that they'll be ready when you open the fridge for dinner. The built-in LED light strip adds a subtle glow, making it easy to see what you have without fumbling in the dark. The LEDs are energy efficient, so you're not adding a hefty electricity bill just to showcase your collection. Security is another practical angle many people overlook until they need it. The BWR 1002SD comes with a cylinder lock and 2 keys, so you can keep curious kids or nosy guests out of the fridge. This is especially handy if you've invested in a few pricey bottles that you'd rather keep under lock and key. The lock mechanism integrates smoothly into the door, so you don't have to wrestle with a bulky padlock or a separate safe. For most home users, that added peace of mind is worth the modest price increase over lock-free competitors. On the flip side, there are a couple of trade-offs that are worth mentioning before you click Add to Cart. Because the fridge is designed to hold a lot of bottles, the overall interior volume is generous, but that also means the unit consumes a bit more power than a smaller, single-zone cooler. If you're using it in a home with tight energy budgets, you'll notice the impact on your monthly bill, though the compressor is relatively efficient for its size. Another nuance is the display shelf, which sits on top of the main rack and can hold up to 10 bottles. While it's handy for keeping a few favorite bottles on eye level, it does reduce the total capacity from 100 to 90 if you decide to use that space. It's a small sacrifice, but if you're aiming to max out every square inch, you'll need to factor that in. Who should consider buying the Whynter BWR 1002SD? If you're a serious hobbyist who enjoys buying wine by the case, or a small business host who regularly entertains with a diverse selection, this fridge gives you the space and temperature precision you need without requiring a dedicated cellar. It's also a solid choice for apartment dwellers who have a single wall space and want a built-in look without tearing down drywall. The lock and adjustable thermostat make